Yeah, I believe Auston Matthews was actually the one who broke the news himself on Twitter. Check out his tweet coming before the team even tweeted it out, saying, "I feel fortunate to continue this journey as a Maple Leaf in front of the best fans in hockey. I will do everything I can to help us get to the top of the mountain. Go Leafs go, hashtag Leafs forever." Let's bring Elliotte Friedman, an NHL Network insider, in on this one because he's overseas covering the International Players Media Tour right now. But you're staying up late for news like this, right, Elliotte? This is what we've been waiting for a long time. How did the deal come together?
Well, first of all, Jamie, Mike, and Bruce, the bars close late in Stockholm, so I'll be going back
there you go.
This is over. You know what? I think I listened to what Mike had to say. I think if you've been kind of reading the tea leaves and kind of see where this was going, I think we were in a situation where this was going to happen. And it was going to be this kind of a deal. I think Toronto was hoping to get 5 years out of this. I don't think they were going to be able to do it. I think at the end of the day, Matthews and his camp were happier with 4. And I think we all knew that it was going to be the highest AAV. And it wasn't just going to be like, if you look at McKinnon, his number's 12.6. It wasn't going to be 12.634. It wasn't going to be 12.65. It was going to be more. And the closer you get to unrestricted free agency, the more the player has the hammer. And Auston Matthews, especially being who he is, he really had the hammer. I think Toronto knew that this was going to take what it was going to take to get it done. And I think they understood that. And I think they wanted to get it done. As Bruce said, you don't want the uncertainty next year with the noise of Toronto. And I'm not surprised that we are where we are. I think the only question was, what was going to be the timing, and they got it done today.
And you look at the 4 years it takes them to, 30 years old, and then, maybe at that point you try to get the 8-year, finish the career out type deal. But you're in Toronto, is where you're based, and you've been tracking this, obviously. Does 4 years and or the AAV surprise you at all, or is this what you figured it would be?
This is exactly what I thought it was. Well, I shouldn't say that, Mike. I've been constantly predicting between 3 to 5 years and an AAV between 13 and 14 million. So if I was going to come on this show and say I was predicting 4 times 13.25, I'd be lying technically, which I tend to do from time to time.
Pretty accurate though.
But I was in the ballpark. I think that's kind of what we all saw coming. And I always believed Matthews was going to sign. I think it was going to be somewhere in this neighborhood.
Hey, Elliotte, do you think by that number and that term that will affect Nylander's signing? William?
Bruce, I think that's the question that we're all kind of wondering here. We interviewed Nylander today in Stockholm. He's here as part of the tour because the Maple Leafs are going to play here in a couple of months. And, he was smart. Bruce, I really tried. I did.
I can only imagine.
He was not having any of my questions. He ducked them beautifully. He did a great job of saying, look, I have time. I still have the rest of this year. I don't see what the rush is, and we're all going to sort this, and we have time to sort this out. I do think, I specifically asked Nylander about, is he worried about taking a discount if nobody else is going to? And he said he wouldn't even go there. I think, Bruce, to your question, I think that where this goes is this number for Matthews, and I'm with you guys. I think it's what he wanted, and I think it's what they knew we were going to have to give him. I think now the question is not only for Nylander, what does it mean for Marner too? What is Marner's up in 2 years? He's eligible for an extension next year. What does this mean for his number? What does this mean for Nylander's number? And this is the way I think, guys, it's going to play out. I think the Maple Leafs are going to say, look, we wanted to get Matthews done. We wanted to extend him, and they did. And now we're going to let next year play out. And a lot of our decisions, Marner, Nylander, Bertuzzi, Domi, other players around there, Samsonov, we can make those decisions late this year or after this season. And I think that's the way Toronto's going to do it.
Well, you mentioned you're in Stockholm. Another Swedish superstar other than Nylander that you got to sit down with, Elias Pettersson, who is also sounding like he's in no rush to hurry up and sign a long-term deal with the Vancouver Canucks. What was your sense from your conversation with him in terms of his future?
Well, Bruce will have better insight into Elias than I will because Bruce coached him for all that time. But first of all, I would say this, Jamie, that guy is dialed in. He is absolutely dialed in for this season. He moved into Stockholm to be close to his trainer. Like a funny story was we did the interview on one of those tour boats around Stockholm, and he brought a lunch with him.
Oh.
Like he's eating the right foods. He's eating prepared meals. He's working out really hard. He's putting on a lot of muscle. Like he's dialed in and serious. But he made it very clear, he's eligible to sign an extension now. Even though his contract's up after this season, he's not an unrestricted free agent. He has another year before he hits that. But he made it very clear that that's not his priority right now, and he wants to wait and focus on the year. So what that says to me is he wants to make sure that he can win in Vancouver. He knows his next deal is going to be a big one, and wherever he is, he's going to get a big deal. The one thing I would say to Canucks fans is don't take it as he's not staying. I don't believe that's the case. Nothing in my conversation with him said to me that he's not going to stay there. But I think he wants to make sure that the team he believes he can win there before he's going to commit to a long-term deal.
Mm-hmm. All right. And if he does so, maybe he will wear the C in Vancouver. That's another conversation we'll have later in the show. Thanks so much, Elliotte, for the time, for staying up late over there in Sweden to talk to us about some real breaking news items here on a Wednesday in August.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with everybody for making me work at midnight local time, but them's the breaks, right?
Yeah. The wall's open pretty late over there, so check that place out.
I wasn't aware of that, Mike. Thank you very much for telling me.
We'll let you get to it. Talk to you soon.